Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to clean your camera sensor. Cleaning your camera sensor is one of those essential things that you need to know how to do as a photographer. So without much further ado, let's get into it. Sensor dust, what is it? Now, often when you look at your photos, you'll see these little specks of dust in the sky. You mainly see it in the sky because the sky is featureless and blue, and you can see the little dots. And sometimes maybe it's not a dot, maybe it looks like an eyelash in your image. And it's actually not an eyelash, it's just a little piece of dust. But it looks like it's the size of an eyelash in your image, and it just ruins photos. Sometimes they run across essential detail in your image and you have to try to clone it out if you know how, and that's always a pain. It always degrades your image and it's never recommended to try to do that. It's always best to clean your camera sensor and to keep your lenses and your camera sensor clean as possible. So how do we do this? Firstly, where is the sensor in your camera? So if you have a digital camera like a mirrorless camera, it's easy to see, and it's easy to see why there's always a dust problem with these things, because it's right there. It's like right there. With a DSLR, which is a mirrored device, a DSLR has a mirror that raises and lowers and a shutter curtain that raises and lowers over the sensor. So does this, but by default, this shutter curtain is up. So the shutter curtain comes down when you're taking a photo and then up again, and that's how this captures a photo, versus a DSLR, which is down by default, and it opens and closes. So it's slightly different. And as a result, you have to be careful when you're cleaning a DSLR sensor. You have to make sure your battery is fully charged when cleaning it. I think Canon cameras actually have a monitor inside, and they actually don't even let you activate the sensor cleaning function, the raise the mirror to clean the sensor function, if your battery is below 50%. I always clean a camera sensor with 100% battery, so that I never run into these issues. It's not so much of an issue with a mirrorless camera like this, because as you can see, the shutter is up and out of the way by default. So that's how that happens. When you're cleaning your camera sensor, it's always a good idea to inspect your lenses as well. Make sure the lens is nice and clean on the front, and especially the back elements. Make sure there are no thumbprints on these elements, because that really degrades your image quality. You have to make sure the entire light path is clean and clear of debris and occlusions so that you can get the highest image capture possible. So I've removed the lens, and the next step is to inspect the sensor. Now, how do we inspect the sensor? Firstly, we can look at it. We can have a look at the sensor and see, can we see any dust on there? You can use a magnifier, or you can use illuminated magnifier. And that's where these come in. This is a really expensive one. This is about $130 for this one. They go up to like $200, $250. And this is just a magnified loupe that lets you look at your sensor. You don't have to get one that's so expensive. You can purchase JJC ones on Amazon that also let you see your sensor quite well. So as long as you can see the dust on there, that's mainly the point of these loupes. So the loupe is illuminated like that, and you literally lift it up and inspect it. And you have to kind of move the loupe further and closer to the sensor, and you can look all the way around there, and I can see there are a couple of spots in there. So the first level of defense when cleaning a sensor is the camera itself. Now, most of these cameras have a mode where you have a sensor cleaning mode that you can activate. And what that does is it actually shakes the sensor very, very quickly. And that shakes the dust off of the sensor onto a sticky tab that's at the bottom of the sensor inside the camera, believe it or not. It's a very low-tech approach by these camera manufacturers, but there's a little bit of sticky tape at the bottom of your sensor inside the camera. So you activate the cleaning mode. I always used to hold it nice straight up like this, because if you do the sensor cleaning like this or like this, it's not necessarily going to fall down onto that sticky pad. So I always activate the sensor cleaning in this orientation so that the sensor dust can potentially fall down and adhere to that bit of sticky tape. That's the first level of cleaning. The first level of cleaning is the menu-based cleaning. You activate sensor cleaning, go, and you can actually feel the camera shake, and it shakes that sensor so that a lot of the dust is removed. Now, actually, before I clean the sensor, I first do that and check and see if that has removed the dust. If that hasn't removed the dust, I leave it in that state, in that shaken state, because then it's actually stabilized that sensor, I don't switch the camera off. If you switch the camera off, the sensor, if it has image stabilization, it's actually a loose jelly-like device inside your camera. When you run your sensor cleaning, it stabilizes that sensor, and therefore it gives you a nice steady surface to work on. So I keep the power on and the lens off, and that's with that stabilized sensor I can get at it with the other cleaning devices. You can use one of two cleaning methods to clean the sensor, two safe cleaning methods. I would not recommend that you use compressed air. Do not use compressed air on your sensor. It can damage your sensor. Okay, it can also damage shutter curtains as well. If the shutter curtain comes down, or if you blow inside your camera when the shutter curtain is down, you can bend your shutter. It's not a good idea. So you'd be using a ball blower like this and literally blowing into the camera to get rid of that dust. Or you can use a fancy electronic one like the BB Nano that I just reviewed. And that will also get rid of a lot of the debris. Okay, and then the next step is to check and make sure that there's no debris on the sensor. If there's no debris on the sensor, why go further? Just stop, put your lens back on, and the day is done. So it's only if there's dust that remains that's stubborn that you take it to the next step. Every step that you take is only necessary if the dust isn't removed by the previous step. That's an important consideration. So the next step is by using a sticky wand. One can physically snipe out the dust on your sensor. This set comes with two different size tips. It comes with a broad flat tip like this, and that is for getting large areas of the sensor, or you can use a smaller sniping tip. And I like to use this tip over here. You clean the tip off on the sticky pad over there and then run it at the sensor. So these loops come in handy when you're using these little devices because you can see exactly where the dust is. So it's getting some of it, but not all of it. So if there's a lot of dust on your sensor, it's always a good idea to just do a nice clean sweep with a sensor swab. And that's really the best method for getting rid of not only dust, but any kind of residue that one cannot get to with a wand like this. So these wands are made by different companies. This is Matten wand. The sensor loop that I'm using is a Visible Dust Quasar Mini, and I'll put links to all of these in the description, but also to more affordable alternatives. So you don't have to buy these big expensive things, but if you buy them once, you have them, and it's kind of an investment. That's how I see it. Now, important when cleaning your sensor is using the correct tools. You need to buy the highest quality swabs that you can find. These are Visible Dust swabs, also Visible Dust liquid, and one can also use Visco sensor cleaning swabs or K&F cleaning swabs. They're also pretty safe to use. Some of them can get quite pricey, so like you get what you pay for. Always try to buy the most expensive ones that you possibly can. They will ensure that you don't have any kind of lint or residue left on your sensor. And do not use anything else other than sensor cleaning liquid, actual sensor cleaning liquid on your sensor. Do not use computer screen cleaner or lens cleaner or defogging cleaner or anything like that, because this is the most important, and this is the most important elements in cleaning the sensor properly. You have to make sure that the liquid that you're using evaporates quickly, cleans the sensor, and leaves no streaks behind. With the wand, you have to make sure that there's no debris left behind by the wand itself, and that the wand and that everything together works well, not to scratch your sensor, right? So you have to make sure there's no debris on your sensor before you clean it. That's why you use something like a blower or a bulb blower to blow air at that sensor to make sure there's no debris on the sensor, because the last thing that you want to be doing is scraping debris over your sensor. So that's an important consideration. So how do we use this? It's actually quite simple. So using the swab is sealed in this packet, as you can see, and you pull it out like this. Do not let it drop to the ground. Don't drop it. Don't touch it on anything. Make sure that it stays sterile like this. And you want to apply a couple of drops of this cleaning compound to the tip of the wand, not inside your camera, not a mega amount on the wand, just a couple of drops just to lubricate the absolute tip edge of that swab. So this is what the swab looks like on the edge over here. So what you want to do is you want to just lubricate the tip of that. So just literally 1-2 drops on the tip. And when I turn it around, I can see that both sides have distributed that liquid. Okay. And then literally what you do is you do a right-left squeegee on your sensor. So you stick it in and align it with the left-hand side of the sensor, like this. And you squeegee right and you squeegee left. And then you have a look. Did I get everything? And that's squeaky clean. That's absolutely clean. There's no need to do another pass. And the idea is to stop. It's always best to, when you achieve something, when you achieve the result that you want, it's best to just stop and call it a day. And you can't use that swab again. You just have to throw it away. So it's good to buy a multi-pack of these swabs. Maybe like if you can buy like 10 or 20 in a pack, that's really, really good. This particular swab is 16 millimeters in size, and that's equal to an APS-C sensor. And the other size that you can purchase is a 24 millimeter, which is a full frame sensor swab. It's important to buy the right kind of, the right size of swab as well for your sensor. Okay, and when you're done with it, you throw it away. Okay. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe so that you can be notified of more handy hints and tips that I'm going to be doing in future videos. And thanks for joining, and I'll see you at the next one.